Hey guys, welcome back. See behind me, we got Frank in the shop. Finally got to a point in all of the projects that have been ongoing that this truck gets some attention for the first time in a couple years. So the long-awaited power plant transplant is here. So let's take a look at what we're about to do. I'm gonna yank the 4.6 out. First, I'm gonna take the whole front clip off. There's some things I want to redo. This truck was thrown together gosh, 2018, 2019, sometime around there, and I wanted to get out and cruise and drive, and so stuck this motor in. And so there's like some brake routing, and there's just some routings of hoses and stuff in here that really I can do better, way better than I could a few years ago. So let's take a look at what's going in. This is a 544 valve. Got a set of Todd Warren cams in it. It's got a few GT500 components in it that don't really help with power, just reliability, since it's the tall deck mod motor, and little NEP customized Australian intake. More on that later, but I had talked about setting up some builder series videos on the channel just to get more content on there. All three of my biggest fans wanted to see more of this stuff, so today, we're going to break down Frank. I'm just really not good at this YouTube thing. It's been a couple of weeks since I recorded the first part of this, and I haven't recorded anything since. So I have the 5.4 sitting in there. Trans is bolted up. This is all got to come back out because I got to get the flywheel, new pilot bearing, new throwout bearing, all that installed. But the 5.4 is in. Kyle at Outcast is going to send me some motor mounts because I need an inch of rise here to clear. The GT500 oil pan's got a pretty aggressive contour to it than the stock 4.6 stuff did, so I'm gonna have to raise the engine up an inch, which gave me some good clearance on the steering shaft on this driver's side header. So these headers are off the shelf for a 2003-2004 Mach 1. They are 409 stainless, so I may get them ceramic coated, but motor's in. I'm try not to make the angle an issue here, but 4.62 valve, 5.44 valve, taller deck motor, so it gets a little wider, but the intake and exhaust versus intake and exhaust on one cam, so a little taller, which is gonna make running a booster pretty difficult. So probably gonna go with a master from Willwood, get the right bore on that to run the brakes that are on it effectively. And I'm going to do soft lines, probably get some Earl's soft lines similar to this, so that if I do go back later with like maybe hydro boost and I have to pull the master out, I won't have to redo lines. I'll have, some movement in the flex lines. So just got all the accessories pulled off of the 4.6. I'm rerunning the mod motor compressor, which is on there. That's what I had hooked up to my vintage air kit. Obviously the power steering, so this motor will run the 2-valve alternator. It's going to plug right in. And yeah, got all that cleaned up, put on. What I'm going to do now is clean up the wiring. Got to change the polarity on the coil plugs. They're backwards from 4-valve to 2-valve, and I'm just gonna wire tuck it. So the the way the Boss intake sits on here, you know what? Let me grab it, put it on here, and I'll show you. Okay, so the way this 5.4 with that intake sits, I'm gonna have a lot of room in the valley here. So I would like to run all of the injector harness and yeah, really just the injector harness underneath and just have them snake up and plug in. Obviously the coil plugs will be tucked underneath the coil covers. And then we'll get creative back here. Probably rip off my buddy from New Hampshire and mount my ECM back here. But basically I want you to be able to look at the engine and probably only see the plugs and wires tucked, and might move the bulkhead from over here to, I don't know. We got to see where it goes, but that's what I'm going to work on tonight, is getting all the stock loom off that. It's not really stock, this wire. This harness has been thinned already, so as you can see, like, this is a coil plug, this is an injector plug, and they're right on top of each other, which on the 2 valve works, but on the 4 valve you kind of have an injector harness and then a coil harness. So gonna work on that because I'm super frustrated with that exhaust header. Got to work on that. So I'm either gonna have to move one of the primaries up higher to clear the frame rail. It's already been boxed, so I don't really want to get into cutting all this. I also don't really like when you have to cut frames to make exhaust fit. So I'm still praying about that, trying to figure that out. So that's where we're at. The goal is to hopefully tune this thing in February. My birthday's in February, so it'll be a birthday present to me is have Frank back up and running. But yeah, just got a few more things to get done before I pull it back out and start doing some cleanup on some of the work I did a few years ago. I want to get rid of these homemade trailing arm mounts and run some of Kyle's stuff, and just smooth some things up, French it in a little better. Cool. So the series videos on Frank are going to be short, under 5 minutes. Try to keep the time lapses to a minimum, but you know, they add some little semblance of went from this to this, about 30 seconds. But appreciate you guys tuning in. Catch you in the next one.